I really vibe with my overthinkers, people who maybe have an idea of therapy and maybe have tried some things on their own or have tried therapy before, but get kind of stuck in their head. A lot of what we would call intellectualizing, talking about things, but having a hard time making progress. I have really enjoyed people who have done therapy before, but found themselves a little bit stuck. I like to kind of dig in. I like to talk about how you think. There's a lot of interesting nuance with our neurodivergent folks. And so helping people come up with language too, to really talk about the processes in their mind is extremely helpful. And I like to open up there for sure with everybody. I always have a backdrop in a humanistic modality. And I think that that really aligns with my values as a social worker as well, where I don't really like a power dynamic that maybe you would see in therapy where like there's an expert and a novice or something like that. I like to view it much more collaborative. So I don't like to always like speak at you. Like there is an element of teaching that happens, certainly. I'm definitely thinking about OT, SLP, so speech language pathology, occupational therapy, particularly because of the population that I'm describing. I don't always think that therapy is like a do-all, be-all, end-all. There are maybe other functional limitations that you have in your life where you would benefit from somebody who has a little different of a skill set from myself. So working on, again, if we're talking about really getting into the nitty-gritty of how you think about things and how you process language, how you communicate and interact with others, how you get things done around your house or organize your schedule. All of that I can help with, but I also think that I'm good at recognizing and communicating to clients, maybe we've reached the wall that I have, the full scope of what I can offer. And so let's bring in other people. Let's bring in other perspectives. So I like to also open up collaboration with other disciplines. I definitely think confidence is probably one of the best phrases to use, particularly because I am so focused in on anxiety, which is usually a lot of self-doubt, a lot of apprehension to take that next step, and a lot of withdrawal and isolation. So people feeling more confident in their ability to recognize their feelings, their ability to communicate their wants and needs, confidence in social situations, confidence in their ability to handle their stuff independently. I like to bring up at the outset of treatment, it's my goal to work myself out of the job. And so I like to check in with people, make sure that we're on the same page, that you want to get to a place where you maybe don't need therapy anymore, or you only need it really intermittently as needed. So I think confidence is a really big part of that. It's interesting. I wouldn't say that I've had a lot of people who have been very averse to telehealth. I definitely have those people, and I like in-person work as well. I like a mix of both, so I can understand people who need one or the other, or who want one or the other. I guess I would probably speak to the fact that I try to make the therapeutic space really warm and affirming. So whether you're in person or on telehealth, yeah, there are some limitations to the interaction online. But I think if I can work to help someone feel comfortable opening up, if I can meet them with non-judgment, I think that's oftentimes a lot of the apprehension. And I just like to be affirming of, okay, if you have any concerns about getting meta, like concerns about therapy itself, concerns about like the quality of our relationship, those kinds of things, I've found with experience that I can still have really profound work, closeness, warmth, progress with telehealth. And so I think sometimes providing a little bit of that reassurance can also be helpful, saying, hey, this is possible. It can be just as effective. And for a lot of my people, telehealth is the only thing that's going to work for them. Yeah, well, there is definitely a significant overlap between the LGBTQ plus population and the neurodivergent population. So I find that naturally, if I'm recognizing one, I'm usually dealing with both or observing both. I would say it all kind of goes back to that humanistic stance of non-judgment, you being the expert on you, and I'm accepting, I'm unfazed. I have a big heart for advocacy. I recognize, I think as a social worker, I pull from a big systems perspective. And so when we're talking about these populations, they are marginalized. And so as much individual work as I do, I think with these clients, I bring a good perspective of you are not existing in a vacuum. The problems that you're experiencing are largely impacted by the systems that aren't set up for you, that don't consider you, let alone take care of you or advocate for you. And I have a passion for that. I want to be in it with people and help them, number one, to like de-shame or, accept themselves as they are, even if the world isn't going to offer that to them.